folks, Sty here. I got an unexpected day off. The weather is cool. It's in the low 50s. It's about 54 degrees out. Cloudy. They say the sun might peek out a little bit later today. And I'm out here at the Lost Creek Falls trailhead. Lost Creek Falls is about a 1.5 mile hike in from the trailhead, and it's located up here in northern Wisconsin. It's a really unique falls. It's beautiful in the late summer, and that's the only time I've seen it. So I thought I'm going to go in there in the spring, and because the creek is going to be running really strong, I want to see how powerful the falls is. It's not a huge falls. It's about an 8-foot. It's about 8 feet. And in the summer, when the water's not running so hard, you can actually walk behind the falls and actually film right through the falls. It's pretty neat. But that's what Sty's doing today. Having a day off, I looked at things I needed to get done, and my list was a mile long. I took that list, I threw it to the side and said, I'm going out to Lost Creek Falls. What the heck? Well, Lost Creek Falls is about a half-hour, 40-minute drive from where I live. So it's a good to haul up here, about 30 miles. It's all located on county land, but it's surrounded by national forests. So it's a beautiful area, and there's nobody else here right now. Now there's another way to get into these falls that's west of here. That route in is about 2 miles, about a 2-mile hike, but most of it's on an ATV trail. Now they've improved this trail into the falls since I've been here. It's been a couple of years, and in the last 2 years they've been improving the trail. So I'm going to strike out on it today and see what they did and get a good look at the falls, and I'll take you along. So let's head on out to the falls, okay? Let's get going. Well, here we are. We're on our way into the falls. And this is right at the trailhead. I'm only about, a couple hundred feet in. But as you can see, they've got themselves a really nice maintained trail going on here. This was never like this the last time I was here. And they got these neat little, brand new little boardwalks across all of the little gullies, which is pretty sweet. I mean, for a 1.5 mile hike down a improved trail like this is going to be a real pleasure. So if this trail is this well maintained all the way in, I guess I'll come out here more often. I'm lucky today that there's not a lot of people coming and going, so I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. So some areas they put gravel down, others are just clean trail, you know. But this is just the start, folks, and we'll catch you a little bit as I mosey down this trail. Now this is a little bit of an example of the terrain in here. The camera doesn't do it justice. It's kind of a steep grade going down here, and then they got this great catwalk going across that old creek bed, and it goes up another hill there. One thing about this hike in is where the trailhead starts, you are gradually dropping 220 feet to the waterfall. So it's a 220-foot drop from the trailhead to the falls. And what people don't think about is when you're coming back, you're going up 220 feet. So they wonder why the trip back seemed a little bit more difficult than the trip in. Well, you're going uphill most of the time on the way back. So that's just the way it is. But this is a wonderful trail. I mean, I couldn't ask for better conditions. It's the weather's perfect. You don't work up a sweat, and it's an easy hike in. I'm taking my sweet old time. I've got all afternoon, and then some, because it's only 10:30 in the morning. So I'm just going to take my sweet time, and unless I see something really of interest, I'll catch you folks when I get down to the falls. Now this is kind of interesting. They've put in a really long catwalk through here. This, in the summer months especially, this is as dry as a bone right through here. But yet in the spring it can be a little damp and sometimes a little muddy, but not as wet as I would have expected that they would have needed such a long catwalk. But more power to them. Sure makes the hike a lot easier, doesn't it? So, but they sure did a good job. These catwalks are narrow. I wouldn't want to come across somebody on the catwalk, because you would definitely need to really squeeze past each other, because if we're lucky, they're 2 feet wide. No more than 2 feet, maybe 18 inches. But then here's another one. There usually is enough high ground going through this area to keep your feet dry, but they opted to put a catwalk in. That's nice. You know, if we got a really wet season, I can see how this would be handy. But okay. Oh, we got an area up here that looks like they might have wanted to put a catwalk in. Somebody's laid logs across this wet area. This is an old access trail that tends to be muddy. Well, it's not too bad, but I would have thought they would have wanted to put a catwalk here, but I guess they didn't, because they want this open as a fire lane. I'm pretty sure that's the reasoning behind not putting one here, which, it's okay. It's dry enough in here. Even if it's wet, you can stay on high enough ground to get around it. So, and off we go into, the trail gets a little less maintained and a little bumpy and rough in spots, but we're about, maybe the halfway point. It's about a half mile back to the trailhead from here. So, okay, heading down to the falls. Well, we're about a quarter of a mile from the falls, and I'm sure you're not picking it up on this little microphone, but I can hear the falls. So it's flowing good. If I can hear the falls from a quarter mile off, it's flowing good. We're up on top of a rise here. There's a large ravine that the trail follows, and I came from that direction. And you're following the edge of this ravine. There's a small creek down at the base of this ravine. It's flowing kind of slowly, but it's flowing. And it's continually dropping downhill now. Most of the trail, 90% of it, is a slight downhill grade, a couple little hills you go over, and then you get to this point and it's all downhill to the falls from here. So my next stop is the falls itself. Okay, see you there. Well, there's Lost Creek. That's not the falls. That's just a little rapids in it. And there's a lot of flat rock in here, just like Sisquit Falls. Um, Beautiful and peaceful in here. I'm actually above the falls. The falls is it's down, way down in there. And we're taking the trail, whoop, winds around and then comes down to the bottom, which will put us way down in there. So let's head down there, see what that falls is doing. It looks like the creek's running pretty good. It's not running real hard, but it's running good. So let's see what it's like down at the falls. Well, folks, here I am. I'm at the base of the falls. You can see all this flat rock in here. You can see the escarpment where the rock is exposed. And then the falls. Ain't she a beauty? Just love it. And another big escarpment of rock all around. So let's take a walk up there by the falls. Isn't that wonderful? I love it. We'll get up here and take a little bit of video from behind. It's splashing pretty good today, so I probably won't get right in behind it, but yeah, you can go right inside here and look right through the water veil. I'm afraid of getting my camera wet, but I'm going to give it a go. There we are, completely under it. Isn't that awesome, huh? I got a little sprinkled on, but that's okay. The rock in here is just amazing. Now, if that isn't worth a measly little 1.5-mile hike, huh? Got a nice little pool here, and it's all sand in here. In the summer, if you come in here and there's folks in here, they're in that pool right away. So that's Di's day hike into Lost Creek Falls. Wish you were all here. I see only one thing that I'm kind of disappointed in, and that's the fact that someone's been having a fire out here right at the base of the falls. Now, there's all kinds of places downstream that they could do that. They don't have to do it right at the falls. But you know how people are. A beautiful day and a beautiful place to spend it. I'm going to stay here a couple hours, or at least a couple hours. Well, folks, I want to thank you for tagging along today to Lost Creek Falls. Beautiful day, spending some time out here, just relaxing. And it was really nice to have you folks tag along. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe. I know I can count on all my old subscribers. They're there with me all the time. So, this is Sky North, loving it. Getting back outdoors, doing some hiking. And until later, you all have a very nice day. Bye-bye.